simply talking about one of the best Monday Night Raws of the last 2 years. Of the last 3 years. WWE fired that bitch of a writer, and they sent her to write Mercedes Moné promos in AEW. And the WWE was free to make their own creative. They were free to go off the script, off the page. And for the first time in over 2 years, Joe Cronin gives Monday Night Raw a 7 out of 10 for the first time in 7 years. Good God Almighty. The only problem was the commentary at times, but that's okay. It was good. Monday Night Raw with the storytelling of old. I cannot believe that I was entertained tonight. 15,000 people packed into Chicago. One of the best Monday Night Raws of the last 2 years. I was blown away tonight. Thank you, wrestling gods, for giving us a good Monday Night Raw tonight. I cannot believe I'm sitting here telling you I thought tonight we'd be on the retard to WrestleMania, but we weren't. We were in for something different tonight. That slow burn build up that we were going down, we were just kind of cruising. Mediocre cruise into WrestleMania. That's all it's going to be, Joe. Now, anybody else think Rikishi was going to run over Cody? I thought about it. I'll admit it. There was so much good news. The Raw of the year. The Raw of the last 2 years tonight on Monday Night Raw. Guys and girls and everybody in the chat right now, do me a big favor. I had a crazy day, a crazy night. It's been a rough day, and you know I can't be on here too late on Monday nights anymore because I got to be up early on a Tuesday. But do me a favor, man, and click that like button and stick that thumb all the way up. There were so many takeaways tonight. I don't know what my favorite part of Raw was tonight. I don't know if it was The Rock bashing Cody's brains in at the end, The Rock coming out at the beginning and saying nothing. Actually, it reminded me of when Jericho did that, but 15,000 people in Chicago. How about when Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins were allowed to go out there and just riff on each other for a while? And then Drew McIntyre said, "That's why I'm the chosen one, and I've always been the chosen one." And then CM Punk said, "You know, who gave you that name, the chosen one?" Superchat. We all know it's Vince, and he painted him into a corner.
I'm a fan of The Rock, but man, this is the best I've seen him. I still think Steve Austin is coming at Mania.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I do think Stone Cold and John Cena and maybe The Undertaker and who knows who else will be at WrestleMania in some sort of appearance. I just don't know exactly what role they're going to play. Tonight was one of the best Raws in a long time. Hey, Tony Khan, how's the dick taste, Tony Khan? CM Punk even shouting out Jim Cornette tonight. You know, I just want to say that I wonder how Tony Khan is feeling right now. How you feeling, Tony Khan? You didn't hire me. You're a coward. Your company is turned into shit. We all loved you at one point and rooted for you. But you really don't know what you're doing. You got Mercedes Moné out there cutting promos that are cringy as hell. That the only way she was able to really get over is to be in front of her hometown and people like, me here in Boston. But tonight, WWE went out there and they said, listen, we got rid of that stupid writer bitch and we sent her over to AEW to sabotage that shithole. And now we're going to we don't even need writers for half of this shit. We're going to do half of this on the fly. I'm the chosen one. I've always been the chosen one. Oh, yeah? Who gave you that name? I forget. I think CM Punk said something about what sanctimonious soul or something like that named you the chosen one. And Drew just had a smile because they can't say Vince McMahon. The Rock was saying shit, cocksuckers, fuck. They were blanking it all out on the TV. I would love if somebody has video on Twitter of what The Rock swore and said. I know he said the F-bomb, S-bomb, bunch of other things that they blanked out. Punk made fun of Drew's kilt or skirt and said it a dress or something like that. And then Drew McIntyre said it's 2024. You can't say that now. You're going to be canceled. I thought that was funny. Just the riffing. I mean, at one point it was almost a little too much because at one point Seth Rollins was laughing in the ring and he was trying to cover it up. And it was like, and there was a downside. I'm going to give you one downside to the whole thing. I know we're riding high. There was one downside, though. When they were doing that in the middle of the ring segment, when they were all kind of snickering, and, Drew at one point said, like, it's PG, man, or PG, bro, or whatever. It was almost like an SNL skit, like at that point. Like, everybody's in on this. So that was a little bit bizarre. It's happened in WWE before, like when Stone Cold Steve Austin was playing the guitar in the back with Kurt Angle and everybody. That was kind of like that moment where everybody's just barely keeping it together or whatever. Oh, man. It was great, though. Tonight, I cannot believe it, but Monday Night Raw was good, bro. Monday Night Raw was good for the first time in a long time. We've seen for the last couple of weeks that Monday Night Raw was in some kind of cruise control that is crap. But boy, and listen, we said, maybe they're trying to wait, but it was hard to believe it. It was hard to believe. This moment is memorable tonight. What a goddamn show. And you know what? When you compare it to some of the best shows ever, yeah, maybe it's not up there at all, but in the last 2, 3, 4 years of Raw, the way it's been, and the build-up we've been getting for the last couple of weeks here, this felt like night and day. It felt like somebody different was in charge. Even Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley's promos I thought were good. People,
Duncachino?
Oh my God, it's good.
If I do?
Hey, Stacks Monet!
Duncachino!
It's a whole new game.
Duncachino!
You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend.
The blood was not hard way. First time WWE has done that. It appears in easy over 10 years. Mindy's Bakery not open tomorrow.
Yeah, Mindy's Bakery is not open tomorrow. That's got to disappoint CM Punk, Stacks Monet. And listen, I'm going to go to Mindy's Bakery, but I'm not going to order muffins. I'm going to eat her muffin, okay? because I'm going to eat Mindy out. I'm going to eat Mindy's muffin out. Because tonight CM Punk made a joke about giving head to AJ Lee, bro. Tonight he said, hey, man, I may not be able to get in the ring and wrestle, but my mouth still works. And, if we were on Netflix, maybe I could say what I want to say, but I'll just say, AJ Lee, whatever her real name is. What's her real name? Tiffany or something? Tiffany, whatever. I'll just call her Tiffany because it sounds like a whore name that she has. He's like, Tiffany knows what I'm talking about, or Ashley, or whatever AJ Lee's real name is. He's like, oh, she knows what I'm talking about. And he made a joke about giving head to her. I mean, bro, this night had all kinds of shit. And then Drew McIntyre starts doing the Eminem rap, and I was laughing because I thought he fucked up at first. He's like, oh, my name's dear Phil, I'm right. Dear chill. Or he's like, Phil, and you chill. And then, dear Phil, I'm writing you, something like that. And then he said, he said chill, actually. I'm sorry, I was distracted. I was trying to read something at the same time I was talking, which doesn't really work. But anyway, the rhyme was funny because he rhymed chill with Phil, guys. He rhymed chill with Phil. On a night where P. Diddy Combs is on the run. That's right, P. Diddy. You're going down, bitch. This is for Tupac, Diddy. You fuck. We're coming to get you. You alleged pedophile. P. Diddy fleeing to another island to try to escape the authorities because who knows what he's doing. Just like all the Hollywood baby eaters out there that everybody loves. P. Diddy, you're finally going down, motherfucker. Okay? Little homies on the side. Diddy gonna die tonight. Fly away tonight. Go ahead. Fly away, Diddy. April Mendez. Thank you, Jay Hunter. April Mendez. April. The only thing cool about April is April was April O'Neil and the Ninja Turtles. Although now she's Shaniqua O'Neal. But what's the difference? I'm not watching the woke turtles anymore. Look at The Rock, man. He looks like fire. Can we talk about how that backlot segment was one of the most beautifully shot cinematic things I've seen in a while from the WWE? Oh, my God, they went outside finally. But it's raining. And the lighting that they had was phenomenal. That lighting in the rain and in the dark and in the back, wow. AEW, take notes, Tony Khan. Take notes, Tony Khan. Because that, my friend, is how you light a outside dark backstage area. Tony Khan, brother. Get the key grip. Get the lighting guys. Get the producers and tell them to study this shot. Study the backstage of WWE Raw tonight. Look at that shot. Look at these movie-like shots, but they didn't feel overproduced for some reason. It felt real, but it looked amazing. How about that? Normally, WWE just looks so overproduced, it looks stupid. Or you watch AEW, and it looks so underproduced that you almost can't see what's going on sometimes. Well, take some freaking notes. Because tonight, they lit this bitch up in the parking lot like a goddamn Fast and the Furious movie or something like that. But they didn't cut around like cock-sucking Michael Bay buttfuckers. They stuck to the action, and they made it seem like it was real, all through the lens of a perfectly viewed Joe Cronin eye. Loved it. Just where can you go with tonight? We got Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk riffing, going off for 23 minutes. The Rock opens the show. Didn't know he was going to be there. Thought he could be. He was. Roman wasn't. Or maybe Roman was. I didn't see it. Bro, there was so much tonight. Becky Lynch. Yeah, Becky teared up a little bit, and people were like, oh, no, another one crying. That had purpose, though. I didn't mind Becky Lynch crying because she wasn't going, oh, my God, oh, my God. She wasn't doing that. She was like, and my dad didn't get to see my kid, so you don't talk about my kid because I'll fuck you up. She was screaming, crying. She wasn't just going, my dad. None of that was happening. And for the best Raw, Cody had to look like a bitch for the best Raw. But I'm going to tell you one thing. The commentary failed tonight. I'm sorry. Michael Cole and Pat McAfee have been good. I have liked them. Okay? I just want to preface this. Michael Cole and Pat McAfee have been good. Tonight, we saw one of the best Raws of a long time. 2 years, I have not given Monday Night Raw a 7 out of 10. Tonight was a 7 out of 10. And in the modern times, it was like an 8 or 9 out of 10. But, let me tell you something. The show kicked ass. The whole thing was so good. So much was good. The promos. Becky, I don't care if she was crying because she was screaming, but here's the problem. Michael Cole and Pat McAfee dropped the ball several times tonight. They just didn't know where to go with commentary. I really think that there should have been more emphasis on Michael Cole. And Michael Cole was weirdly pouring it on so much. The Bloodline might be here. Something weird's going on. I do like that they were trying to tell you something was going to happen, but I think they tried too much to tell you, but whatever, that's fine. Opinions are opinions. But Michael Cole and Pat McAfee, they needed to do a better job of this was a setup. This whole thing was a setup to get Cody Rhodes involved in the back like this. It was never about Uso. It was never about what was going on between Nakamura. That was all a distraction for The Rock and for this pack of wolves to jump Cody Rhodes. And I thought, and maybe he did say that and I missed it. And if I did, I apologize and I'm incorrect and I'm an idiot. And I'll go back and probably notice that tomorrow and correct that tomorrow. But there were several times where commentary was missed a beat or they didn't notice it. It even happened at one point, Cole was like, spear! Oh, no, wait, no. Oh, no, spear! It's he missed calling the whole thing. He should have not called the spear, right? And then the spear should have been called. And then it said, despite all the distractions, the plans have failed for the Bloodline tonight. Jimmy Uso picks up the victory over Shinsuke Nakamura with the backup of Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes. They're still fighting. And that fight's still going on. Here we go. Well, and then, somebody could have chimed in like Pat McAfee. Yeah, Cole, but you know what? He may have won the match. But right now, the war continues. And then it could have been brought up that, oh, man, this was all a plan to get Cody Rhodes in the back. Damn it. But they didn't go that route. It was just very, subdued and, whatevered commentary. And then commentary eventually just stopped commentating because The Rock was doing things, which I understand sometimes being quiet. Sometimes I understand being quiet and letting the story happen. Let everybody experience it. You don't need a commentator. I agree with that many times. I really do. I think there were some things that could have been said a little bit more, but that's fine because it was kind of like the Rock story. And I'm glad, you don't want someone going oh my God, he hit him again. You don't want that. Let the story, let that play out. The Rock's kind of telling you the story. It's on camera. But there was just a lot of, I just thought commentary tonight, and I've been praising Cole and praising Pat McAfee, but I just think, I think they need to talk a little bit more about how they're going to be, when they're reacting to some things. That's all. Tighten it up a little bit. Wasn't as good as usual, but Raw was better than usual. Good God Almighty. Raw tonight, one of my favorite Raws of the last couple of years. And Drew McIntyre getting waffled by Seth Rollins at the end was hilarious. That was great. And like I said, bringing up Vince McMahon, calling him, just baiting him into trying, go ahead, say who called you that was CM Punk. That was just great. Where's the clip?
Beyond commentary.
This was gold.
Maybe since that World Heavyweight Championship with live fans in a stadium.
I love how Drew McIntyre has become just unhinged jealous. He's like become insane because he didn't win the title in front of fans. I love that now he's a heel, and that's his big crutch and big problem is that he didn't win in front of the fans. And he's like obsessed with all this shit, and he's like losing his mind and shit. By the way, guys, if you want to donate to the show and you want to support what I do, I can't do this without you. I just can't do it. So if you want to donate to the show tonight, you want to make me erectified. That's right. I said erectified, as in an erection that's electrified, that's erectified. If you want to make me electrified, erectrified, then you go ahead and you hit that hashtag erectified in the chat, and then you click that donation button on the top that says Streamlabs, and you donate all the money in your husband or wife's bank accounts to me because I want to get off. But no, that being said, man, listen to this clip. This stuff's good. Real good shit tonight. Look at this.
Cole. A fan sitting here, but anyway, if you want to be part of the show, maybe since I'm on the commentary desk, I've got an idea.
No, go back.
Who? But you shouldn't, and everybody's finally starting to realize what I've known all along, that Drew McIntyre has always been the chosen one.
Chosen one. Who chose you? Who? What was his name? Huh?
If this is not what we older folks call a Kodak moment, I don't know what is. Is this not a Kodak moment? And I'm not talking about Kodak Black. Because if I was talking about Kodak Black and a Kodak moment, I'd be talking about, letting your 2-year-old play with a gun while you do drugs on a transvestite's pussy. I'm talking about a Kodak moment in the way of, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and you wanted to develop it somewhere so you could take a look at it later. That's the Kodak moment I'm talking about here. Not talking about, no, we're talking about the pictures. You know it in the chat, by the way. You do know in the chat. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. This is one of the best Monday Night Raws that I've seen in like 3, 4, 5 fucking years. One of the best Raws. And that membership button, my membership button down below, my membership button wants you to molest it tonight. I'm feeling good after that Monday Night Raw, bro. I can't believe I just watched a Raw that didn't make me want to pass the fuck out tonight. They can't say Vince McMahon's name. CM Punk, they're riffing here, it feels like. It feels like they're riffing. If this is scripted, I'd suck their dicks for being able to remember all this. It's not. They're riffing. And CM Punk paints Drew McIntyre into a corner with this, and I love it. He loves it.
You got the balls to say you're the chosen one? Tell me what paragon of good virtue.
What paragon of good virtue gave you that name?
Chose you. It wasn't the people in Chicago.
Bro, yo, this shit by itself was worth giving Raw a 5 or 6 out of 10. Oh my God, bro.
Wasn't the people in San Antonio when we went off the air on Monday Night Raw and they were saying CM Punk. CM Punk. CM Punk. CM Punk.
Punk, please, keep going. Get it in while you can, because you're going to be out for months still. This is your moment. This is exciting. I feel like a fan sitting here. But anyway, if you want to be part of the show, maybe since I'm on the commentary desk,
I don't know why Drew delivered this line so fast. He was like, but maybe because I'm on the commentary desk and maybe you can come out here and give us a gun. He sped up all of a sudden. It was very weird. But fine. By the way, he made a comment, don't look up his dress, his kilt. Don't look up his kilt. Don't be a pervert. Which I think he says every time he comes out now and sits like in the middle of the ring like he does. But hey, it is what it is. Tonight was great. That was wonderful. Him and dude, when he got waffled later by Seth, dude, that was fucking hilarious. It takes a lot, and it takes perfect timing and a lot to make me laugh in a wrestling situation like that. And I was into it. I was interested. I was fascinated. I was laughing. All of that happened during that segment. Like, wow. That was good. Good God, was it good tonight. Let's hear the end part, because I thought that was funny. There's more. I mean, listen, there's so much to talk about. He made fun of Seth Rollins, coming out there on platform stilts. And I love that we thought CM Punk was getting the last word, left the ring, and Drew was like, oh, no, you're not going to get the last word. I don't know why I'm just talking like an Irish person, not a Scottish person, but you know what I mean. And he came running up to the ring to talk more shit. And I love, like, he could have just said, you're not going to get the last word, CM Punk, because let me tell you something. And then he could have gotten waffled by Seth, and it would have been good. That would have been great, and I would have laughed. It still would have been comedically funny. It still would have made, Drew look like a great heel and whatever else. But what made it even more amazing is that Drew had a fucking rhyme written for the guy. That was definitely scripted. I doubt Drew is that good to make that up. So that was awesome.
As the title, you are obsessed with me. You think about me all day long. You watch me in social media. You watch me on TV.
I love when he said you guys are out, like you guys are just trying to out troll each other or whatever. That was funny.
Because I am living your dream. You're my number one stan. Write me back just to chill. Truly yours, your biggest fan. This is Phil. Oh! And Rollins went.
Bro.
That blindside kick to McIntyre. Number one.
Michael Cole brought it there. Although Michael Cole was off a bit tonight at times, and Pat McAfee as well, the commentary did not do a great job at times tonight. But that was a great call.
Dan, write me back just to chill.
When he said that, I went, "What the fuck?" Drew doesn't know the words to Stan. And then he said Phil, and I went, oh, that's fucking great. He got me, bro.
Truly yours, your biggest fan. This is Phil. Oh! And Rollins with a blindside kick to McIntyre. Medically cleared, stronger than ever. Stop! And perhaps it is Drew McIntyre who is now taking his eye off the ball.
Bro. Oh, my God. What a segment. What a segment. Got The Rock opening up the show, not saying a goddamn word. You got Cody Rhodes coming out there, and, well, he's Cody Rhodes, and, oh. Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley's promo was good. And then Dom got punched in the face. He got punched in the fucking face. I have one bit of advice for Dom. If that could have been redone, if the punch could have been redone, Dom should have sold it like he absolutely got his lights knocked out, like in the UFC or in a bar fight. When you see a bar fight, there's so many online videos now. Everybody knows what a real knockout looks like now. I'm serious. Think about this. Years ago, not everybody really knew what a knockout looked like. You know what I mean? You'd see a lot of wrestling knockouts and you'd see things like that. But not everybody knew what a knockout looked like. They thought it was like the movies or like wrestling. And yeah, they thought it was a little more real, like you just go out and whatever. I guess, right? Maybe boxing, you've seen it there. But like there's so many World Star. There's so many videos in the past 15 years. There's so much UFC. There's so many videos. There's so many knockouts. So many highlights. Everybody knows what a just fucking knockout looks like. You just go out. But Dom sold it like he goes, oh, and then he kind of threw himself up in the air. I liked it, and I thought it was great. It looked awesome for Becky. Looked good. But if I could do it again, I would have Dom. Oh, he takes that chin shot and he just fucking goes limp and falls, and it looks scary almost. And that would have made it more like wow. But whatever, it was great. I'm just nitpicking at something because this show was fucking great tonight. But like, bro, it was a great punch and a good shot. It was a good sell. It's just I'm saying like maybe sell it like almost like a real knockout because then it would have looked real good. But in the slow motion when they showed it in slow-mo and he's like, oh, and it was just kind of like silly. But maybe it only looked like that in the slow-mo because we saw the slow-mo. But they should have stopped it after the first shot. I don't know. But it was good. Tonight was so good. I don't even want to complain because I was entertained. You talk about are you not entertained? I was entertained tonight. I wanted to eat Drew's dingleberries. That's what I wanted to do tonight. I wanted to climb into the ring tonight and eat Drew McIntyre's dingleberries. Don't you know that? By the way, you guys want to know about a podcast better than The Undertaker's podcast? It's the Oh You Didn't Know? The Road Dog, Jesse James. Oh You Didn't Know podcast. His YouTube channel. Are you not watching Oh You Didn't Know? Bro, there has been some shit dropped on that show. Not to mention the fact that Road Dogg gave me a shout out a while back. You got to sub that shit. Oh, you didn't know on YouTube? What a podcast. You'll love it. Hey, let's go to the donations and hear what you guys are saying. Okay, let's hear what you guys are saying. That's right. I mentioned the Road Dogg. You know it? You like that? What, you want to sing or something? Yo, you want to sing? You want to do it? My day working hard on the go. My hands on the clock, man, spinning too slow. I can't wait to be alone with my baby tonight. Sorry. Let's go to the donos. Where are they? They're somewhere. Where are you?
New subscriber.
You fucking mark!
Yo, Johnny Z, thanks for subbing to the channel, man. Thanks for being a mark. By the way, The Rock dropped the F word tonight. The Rock dropped like balls, cock, bitches, drug addict hoes, and he said F word. I mean, he said a whole bunch of shit.
You donated
Whoa!
$50. I'm gonna take my dick out because you donated $50. You donated $50, motherfucker, boy. I'm a rich motherfucker.
Yo, so Raw was good. Fuck CM cunt, hope he dies.
Oh!
Fake fuck.
Wow. Wow, Ghost. That is harsh, bro. Okay, babe, I'll come up and give you some. What do you say, lots of blankets?
Yeah, I need big blankets. I'm cold even snuggle in a fluffy blanket.
Oh, I'm sorry, baby. Yeah, you probably have the same cold Mom has. Okay. Few minutes, I'll bring him up, okay? All right. I love you. All right, that was my daughter. She's sick. And everybody got a cold in my house. I had a sore throat for like 6 hours and mucus and stuff, and then it went away. My son had a fever for like a second, and then it went away in like 10 hours. He was fine. But then Leah got sick today, like earlier last night, and she was like freezing and hot all day and whatever. It was like COVID. I'm like, Jesus. But you don't have COVID, so it ain't a flu. I don't know. It's something. But apparently it hurts the girls more than the guys. The boys are beating it down. The women are getting wrecked, though. I don't know what it is. What a show tonight, man. I can't. Man, the Ghost from the Coast. Let's read that again because my daughter was calling me during it. I kind of read everything he said, but I want to say it again because the Ghost from the Coast dropped $50. So Raw was good? FCM cunt. Hope he dies. Oh, yeah, that's what I heard that, yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, CM Punk might be a little bit weird and fake, but I was entertained by Raw. I was entertained by Punk. I was entertained by Raw tonight. Guys, it was, like, that was fun. That was good. I wish it was back in the day and I didn't have to go to work early in the morning because I would ride this show for 3 hours tonight. This was good
Come on
shit.
out, you rapist!
Ladies and gentlemen, Kurtman 360 just became a member. Thank you, Kurtman. I'm telling my wife something. She got the chills. Kerman, thank you for becoming a member, bro. Oh, my goodness. Chief Wahoo! Chief Wahoo. Wow, Chief Wahoo, man. Thank you so much, Chief. Chief just donated fucking 10 subs, bro.
Come on out, you rapist!
Damn. Alex can too. He got a membership. Thank you, Alex, man. Thank you, bro. We're going to go over to Discord in a second.
Come on out, you rapist!
Oh, E-Man got one too, man. All the subs are coming in. Let me go over to Discord. Rastafa on Discord. It's exciting tonight, man. I'm going to find out. Jake DeMarco texted me too. He might have, I don't know if he saw the show or not, but find out what he has to say. Rastafa, what do you think, man? What a crazy Raw.
I was going to give this Raw an 8, but I gave it a 7.75.
You should shoot yourself.
Why should I?
7.75, bro. Just say 7.8.
Yeah.
Just say 7.8.
7.8? My God.
7.75.
Yes. 7, and I gave it 3 quarters.
Yeah,
I would have gave it an 8, but I chopped it off. Here's the reason why. Can I speak, bro?
Okay, go ahead.
Damn.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, the reason being is because when I'm watching the Becky promo, right? Now, I'm all for the fact that she's in her emotions. Rhea talked about her daughter, this and that. So she's trying to, not fight back. But she eventually knocked out Dom, and they eventually fought anyway. So it didn't really matter. But for me, though, it's like I'm listening and watching this promo, and I'm thinking, oh, my God, Rhea is not only more popular than Becky, but the crowd is more behind Rhea than Becky overall. This is not the same Becky Lynch from 5 years ago. And
yeah,
that's pretty much how I look at it. It's just like Becky for me is literally a lost cause in this feud. And again, they had not touched really since since she won not the Rumble, but when she won the Chamber, all that jazz. So there really hasn't been any contact. Now finally tonight we got the contact. But overall, both in the promo and even both in the scuffle, Rhea's got Becky's number on this one, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people have been sick of Becky for a long time. I know I have. Scott Novak got a membership too. I'm definitely more into Rhea Ripley for sure. But I thought Becky stepped it up tonight. I thought, wow, finally, like, because usually Becky promos make me roll my eyes and want to die.
It was the same promo to me.
What?
It felt like the same promo to me.
I've never seen her screaming and be that like upset. And then
She has been.
And then they got in a fight. You know what I mean? Normally she's just like, I worked for this and I'm the man and I don't care. And like I just think, I don't care anything you're saying. But tonight,
well, that's because she's getting her stuff in. But tonight, I mean, the only difference is that the fact, like, they mentioning, the daughter and this and that, blah blah blah. Which, by the way, great line. And the fans are chanting "Mommy, Mommy," and I'm just like, damn. Like Becky fell from grace in some type of way. I don't know why. And again, like when she turned on Charlotte, which, by the way, in design, she's supposed to be a heel at that time. But the fans just got behind her because, she was then all of a sudden she's going on Twitter. She's knocking out marks left and right that are trolling her, which was entertaining as hell. And it's almost like that same energy is just not there anymore. And it's not that I'm trying to be tired of Becky. It's just like she needs something to legitimately not only keep her in that babyface persona, but the fact that Rhea is more over in many respects than Becky makes me not really want to care about this. It just feels like another match.
Well, E-Man in the chat says 7.75 divided by 15 /10 Mustafa rating. That's what he says.
Well, I don't know what type of math that is. That's not even Steiner math.
Well, some kind of math. It's probably some kind of Japanese math we don't know about. But let's talk about the rest of it. Let's talk about the good stuff because, I mean, what was there anything else bad you want to, on the best Raw of the year? Would you agree this is the best Raw of the year?
So far, yes. So far.
Well, yes. Yeah, so far it is. I mean, what are we going to do? Judge it on the Raws that haven't happened yet?
Well, again, let me ask you this. If The Rock was not on this show, if the Bloodline was not all this show, would it still be the craziest freaking Raw that we've seen in a long time still?
Well, no, it wouldn't have been, but it would have been good because normally when I watch Raw, I think, okay, the opening was kind of interesting, and then it all just kind of goes downhill. And then there's like one other little part or whatever. So it would have been the segment with Drew and CM Punk and
that was great.
Seth Rollins. Yeah, that segment by itself was really good, and I really loved it. And that would have made Raw already a 4 or 5 for me, probably a 5. And with everything else, it was all right. And again, like I said, everything I thought was fun in some way. I normally hate things. I'm bored by them. And tonight I wasn't. I liked Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch. I liked Dominik getting punched in the face.
That was so good. His selling was so good on that right hand. Rhea just.
I actually just said that I thought he should have sold it like he got knocked out instead of like a wrestling sell. So I actually criticized it.
But either way, the way that Pat McAfee really oversold that, I mean, it was awesome. I mean, regardless whether if he actually got knocked out or at least quasi kind of got knocked out, it wouldn't have mattered. He still got knocked down. That's the main thing.
Well, he didn't get knocked out, but it would have been cool if he sold it like he really did instead of like a flop.
He just got knocked down. That's all you really need. He got knocked out by a chick. I mean, that's cool.
Well, he got no. It's really not cool, but it's it's funny.
No, that's what I mean. It's funny. It's cool. It's same deal for me. But with I mean, I liked a lot of the wrestling that was on tonight. I mean, I know we're talking about the promos mainly, but that high spot from Ricochet doing that, I think it was like a shooting star cross body. Ooh, good stuff. Good stuff. And
cool.
Again, Ricochet. It's so sad how he's in a position where, like, granted, he's on TV, he's doing his thing, but there's no development, there's no program that he's in.
Yeah, I mean, if they were, it's too bad they don't do things with Ricochet. I know he's not the greatest promo, but I like the idea of him like getting involved in some kind of a feud where he can have a match at WrestleMania. I mean, it would be really. I know this is I don't want to add more belts, and maybe there shouldn't be anything like this.
No more.
But like the guy, I mean, do something with this guy. Have him in a feud with somebody. You know what would be cool if Bronson? I wanted Bronson Reed to face who's the other really big guy? Somebody else big.
There's a few of them. Ivar.
Ivar. Yeah, it would be cool if Bronson and Ivar had a match. But if that can't happen, I would like to see Ricochet in a match at WrestleMania with like maybe those two, and like I don't know, they could do something crazy. Maybe I don't know that I just hope they do something with him. I don't know what to do, but
at this point, again, Ricochet, he's in the mix, but he's just not really like doing anything. He's just not doing anything significant as far as like what he should or could be doing. And yeah, you're right. The talking skills need to come up. He needs to take chances. He just needs, matter of fact, what he needs to utilize more so, and a lot of his roster needs to utilize more, is social media to work on the promo. I'm like, dude, Drew McIntyre, if you would have told me 2 years ago Drew would be in this position as right now where he should have been even remotely when he got back into like the game after getting fired by WWE, not just transforming his body, but just his promos alone. And he's at where he's at right now. I would not have believed you, because he is using social media like it's the frickin' second coming. He is amazing at using the techniques of what he's been doing, mainly because of what The Rock's been able to do. He hasn't been able to go full bar like The Rock, but Drew McIntyre is pretty much doing what he should have been doing all along.
He's being the heel stuff from Drew has been fascinating. I am so into CM Punk and Drew. I want to see a year-long feud with those two at this point. Like, that is really good. But let me please. I know there's so much good to talk about. I'm going to give Raw the best rating I've given it in, I think, 2 to 3 years. I'm giving Raw a 7 out of 10 tonight. That is the biggest rating I've given Raw in a long time. And maybe
if it's not past the 7, there's something wrong with you. Because I remember people in the chat were like, "Oh, this Raw put me to sleep until the end." I'm like, "Screw you!"
I don't
Apparently
know.
You're not watching the product.
I mean, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. If you thought Raw was boring tonight, I'm gonna bet that they tuned in lightly and they thought it was like every other Raw, and they just went and went to sleep, and so they didn't really give it a chance because they thought it was just going to be like the last 3 weeks of Raw, 2 weeks or whatever it's been. But let me ask you the real important question. We've talked about so much tonight so far. The Rock, Cody Rhodes, the ending. It was shot like a movie. It was amazing.
The beginning, though. The beginning. But let's get to the real thing. Your boy. Yeah.
P. Diddy. Where is he? Tell us.
He ain't my boy. I don't know what you smoking.
Don't say that.
Yeah, I don't know what you smoking. You smoking pencil shavings like Mustafa?
See, now you're even talking a little ghetto-y.
No, I'm asking you a question.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to be a racist. Go ahead. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. Yeah, P. Diddy. It is funny though that P. Diddy flew his plane away trying to hide something, or we don't know if he could have just been in the air coincidentally, but they raided all his homes. We'll talk about that later. P. Diddy, man, that's crazy shit going on with him. I don't know what's up. Maybe they're trying to distract from. I don't know. Who knows what's going on? But P. Diddy, man, Tupac is coming for you beyond the grave. P. Diddy, you can't run anymore, motherfucker.
Dude, the fact that Tupac is trending right now is freaking hilarious. The moment I saw that on Twitter, I'm like, oh my God, why? And then I pull it up, and all of a sudden I see the Diddy stuff, and I'm like, this is, yeah.
Yep.
This is.
All the homes raided, bro. Multiple homes, FBI.
Multiple homes are raided. He was hanging out in Miami.
He's hanging out
what? For a number of hours, supposedly. CMC was catching all that stuff, so.
That's crazy.
Did you literally just admit just a few seconds ago you were trying to be a racist? Damn. Wow.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, who would ever.
I have no words.
Whoever says that, well, I was trying to insinuate that because you're black, that somehow you're connected to P. Diddy, you know what I mean?
Well, I'm not, so wrong. So let's talk about Raw at the beginning of the show. So basically, Rock comes out after Cody was saying some stuff, and people were like, what did Rock say? Apparently, and again, I'm probably going to be wrong on this, but somebody had said that they kind of got like the lingo of what he was saying in the deal, and he says, tonight I'm going to make you bleed. Well, if that's the case, then he made Cody bleed, which I was not expecting actually to him get, color at all. The only thing that we got even remotely close to color ever on WWE programming these days is when
is Virgil, baby. I remember Virgil when he would go out there with $1 Million Man. First colored, right?
You need to stop.
I'm
Anyways,
sorry.
so Cody
I'm
Cody
sorry.
pretty much got wrecked tonight. I mean, we're gonna get more into that because there's a lot more layered that we're probably not even getting. But
Right.
yeah, the first everything got set up with that. Great wrestling tonight. Probably the weakest point for me, even though that it was, it had to be told as far as the story goes, was with Sami Zayn and Bronson. So basically, Gunther comes out. He's not doing anything. He's just standing on the stage smiling at Sami. Eventually, Sami gets distracted. And then Bronson goes for his finish. 1, 2, 3. Sami gets frustrated backstage. He's getting a pep talk from, good old Alpha Academy's leader. And it's pretty much, I guess there's going to be, he might have him in his corner at Mania. Who knows? I don't know.
That drives me nuts, man. I want it. Like, how about Gable versus Ricochet? How about that match?
I mean, I was mentioning like that high spot. That was pretty much like the highlight of the match for me. That match was insane. Again, there's so many great athletes that, I mean, again, Gable is a great talker. I mean, he reminds me of Angle, except not as probably as funny as Angle, but he could definitely give off great humor.
He doesn't quite have the charisma of Angle or the extra, but he is good, and he can be funny and entertaining. He's almost like, I know this sounds like an insult, but I don't think it's an insult, but he's kind of Angle light, and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
He's a chameleon. He can adapt to any situation if he needs to, whether it be humor, whether it be just talking a straight dramatic promo, this or that. He's being very convincing.
He is good. You're right. He's good at acting. Like, he should be. But, dude, give me Gable and Ricochet in matches somehow. Because they should be in good matches. They really should.
You know what? Make Gable the heel. Make Ricochet the babyface, or if you want to try to make Ricochet heel, he's going to have to, get his mic skills up, like as we've been talking about before. But other than that, I mean, again, great wrestling. What was it? The women's match earlier. Honest to God, I understand they're just trying to like drag the story out, which is essentially what they've been doing for the past couple weeks. We're probably not going to see any real development until after Mania, which is fine. But if it just dies a painful death, I don't blame them. Because, it's just, I like the long-term storytelling as we're getting nowadays, but if this has no real payoff or it doesn't really have anything that, that comes from it, then I'm not going to care. So, again, another reason why, I didn't give Raw a full 8, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I mean, yeah, so going with the Cody, CM Punk, and Drew McIntyre, I mean, oh, God, thank God this was in Chicago. Because I don't think you could have gotten this over anywhere else as good as Chicago. I mean, I love the New York crowd, like the Boston crowd, I like, the New York crowd, but this was a really, really good situation. And it was at the 9 o'clock hour.
15,000 people there. So that's crazy right there.
Yeah. So it's like the 9 o'clock hour, the second hour of the show. You start off, already hot with Cody and Rock. You go to this segment. Ooh, I mean, just layers on layers of taking shots. And I'm assuming, again, Triple H is allowing them to, do what they need to do as long as it stays under the guidelines. But, dude, the amount of freaking underneath references, the Jim Cornette references, the Vince McMahon references, even though they can't say his name, which was awesome, by the way.
Yeah, Drew looked surprised. I mean, listen, it felt like they were all riffing, and it went there, and then Drew had to, how do we get out of this? And if they planned all that, then it's genius. If they planned all that, it's genius because it felt like they were riffing mostly with a guide. And that was, dude, I was hanging on everything.
Joe, let me ask you a question. What is one of the biggest concerts you ever went to with multiple bands on the bill? Just as an example.
There's really kind of a lot, but I'll just I'll pick one. I'll pick one. There's more. I'll pick two. There was Pantera, Soulfly, Slayer, and I think and something like that. And then there was Metallica, Korn, Kid Rock, and somebody else.
All right, let's go with the Pantera one just real quick. So let's just say at the end of the show, all the bands kind of came out for that one encore song.
Right.
Like some of the metal guys do that. And it doesn't necessarily matter what the song is, but that's one guy gets a solo, another guy gets a solo, another guy gets a solo. And then eventually there's this platitude, literally to the highest point of, riffing out and just doing whatever. this is this moment. Like, I always equate great promos to music because it's just you're layering and layering and layering. You're still getting the points across in the, the gist of what you're trying to say, but all that extra stuff just layered around, and it's not even in the original concept of what is the bullet points are. But the fact that the Chicago crowd is, chanting specific things, doing this. Yeah, by the way, the Drew McIntyre Stan riff, of him, rapping Stan. Oh God, that cracked me up. And then of course him getting knocked down.
That killed me. That was funny as hell.
The moment I saw that, I thought of Chris Tucker from Friday. You got knocked the hell out.
Yeah, that was great. And Rock said about 7 slurs on the air tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. But you know what I mean? The one little thing that I like the most, I mean, as far as what Drew did tonight, wasn't even just what he did in the ring.
Yeah.
It was what happened outside the ring. So basically, R-Truth and Miz, they're talking to DIY and New Day, and then R-Truth gets that last shot in, and you see in the background Paul Heyman and Drew McIntyre talking.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So we may be getting a screw job finish with Seth and Drew at Mania. So that's kind of giving me that vibe there. Other than that, going towards the main event, Jey Uso does his promo in the back.
I'll be listening, but I'm gonna fix my mic.
Yeah. So basically, Jey Uso and Solo arrive. They look at Jey. Oh, I'm sorry, Jimmy. Jimmy and Solo look at Jey. And basically, before he goes out, Seth Rollins says, "Yo, I don't have a great feeling about tonight. I got your back." The match with Shinsuke Nakamura was not bad. I necessarily wouldn't put that in the main, but they had to for the sake of story and all that jazz. And obviously there's doing the run-ins and stuff like that. The funny thing is, Jey himself did not get his ass whooped after the match, and he's seeing all the carnage going on backstage. Cody beating up Jimmy, beating up Solo, and then The Rock comes out of nowhere. So I'm like looking at this, and it reminded me of like one of those old school Raw or SmackDowns from the early 2000s where there's like that backstage confrontation, and you don't know who's going to get slammed where, who's going to go through this and that. But here's what's so great about this ending scene. And it was all natural. The lighting, as you said, Joe, was amazing. The fact that it rained, it freaking rained in Chicago, it reminded me of something out of Marvel. It reminded me of something out of the Kingpin, where basically Kingpin is just whooping the hero's ass and just one thing after another. At one point, I'm thinking Cody's going to go over that, not the barricade, but like that stone way where basically it's just like God only knows how many feet that is down, and it's gonna be like one of those things where Stone Cold going over the bridge type of a thing. But other than that, I mean, Cody's getting his butt kicked. He's constantly getting slammed into his own bus, and eventually he gets color, and The Rock takes that weightlifter's belt, and it says Mama Rhodes. I was cracking up when I saw that. So, he basically takes Cody's bloods, wipe it all over the belt. And again, he's still talking to Cody even after the cameras go off. But as we were talking about earlier, Joe, the amount of times Rock was cussing, he was saying, a piece of shit. He was dropping the F-bomb a number of times. Again, standards and practices, I know The Rock can give two craps about, but I can only imagine how much crap Nick Khan and probably, Triple H and a number of the different executives have to go through, especially going through USA. But I mean, it's their last year. What are they going to do? I mean, they can't just throw them off the air. I mean, they probably could, but again, they don't have enough just cause. But the fact that they had that 7-second delay, thank God. But yeah, so basically The Rock was just flipping out, doing all this stuff. And by the way, all intents and purposes, even though that The Rock has cussed and, there have been 7-second delays on him in the past, years past, this is probably a new species that I've not really seen The Rock, take on. Like this right here is probably the most heel I've ever seen The Rock be. I know that doesn't make sense, but the most evil he's ever become. And it's awesome. I mean, this version of The Rock is probably, out of all the other heel versions of The Rock that I've liked over the years, this is probably my favorite, mainly because he just does not care and will do anything and everything just to, make Cody's life a living hell, and he pretty much has. And just the little things. This is what you get for talking crap about The Rock for the past 2 weeks, doing this, doing that. So basically, the receipt for The Rock and Roman most likely are going to be in Brooklyn next week. I'm thinking about going to the show. I probably won't, just because I know they're going to be friends of mine that are going to be going, and they're just going to, kind of report back to me on as far as the little things in terms of dark matches and this and that. But if I do go, I'll definitely, let everybody know, and I'll, tag, photos and stuff like that. But no,
that'd be cool,
tonight
man. I want to see those.
Oh yeah, I'll see if I can go to Brooklyn, but I don't know if I will, but we'll see. We'll see.
Boy.
But yeah, no. So like the Rock promo and everything, as far as like him, cussing out Cody and this and that. I mean, Joe, let me ask you this: like, do you feel that a lot of times when a wrestler, no matter how big or how big a star they are, or whatever, that dropping it so much, cussing is just like, it's pretty much like cheap heat, and it just takes away from the moment?
I'm going to say something kind of weird here, and maybe I'm wrong, but you know how The Rock's been calling himself the final boss?
Right.
When you think about a game or like a game or a movie or something where, the final boss is kind of ridiculous, like compared to everything else. Like everything else feels
very
like
difficult. Very hard.
Yeah, like a foot soldier and stuff. He has all those extra weapons like that. He can swear. He can do the backstage brawls. He can just kind of do anything, and it's stuff that other people aren't doing, and they're almost not allowed to do, and it's making him feel special. So the negative is, why can't everybody be allowed to do this more? Then the whole show would probably be better. But the positive is he feels special on another level. I think there is a little bit to be said, though, that this has kind of diminished Roman a little bit.
It's diminished him a lot.
Yeah,
don't sugarcoat it. It diminished him a lot.
Yeah, like it felt like Roman was the final boss for sure. Like he was on a roll as this champion. Nobody can beat this guy. And the only downside to all this is Rock has taken over as the and I know that they changed it back, as they said, and Cody's again going to face Roman and everything. But whether it's Rock as a heel or Rock as a face, he has taken over this show. I mean, this is Cody versus The Rock here. Like we want to see Cody versus The Rock almost more than anything. The Roman's almost on the side.
I'm going to equate The Rock to Thanos. Think of him as Thanos.
Yeah.
You think that the boss is Roman, and in terms of like the main evil character, you think Paul Heyman being like the sneaky guy behind the scenes is like the real evil character. No, it's The Rock. Because Rock has more star power than anybody on the roster, period. Even more star power than Cena, not just because of longevity, but because of consistency and box office and all that jazz.
And Cena's lost a bunch, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, Rock does, in a lot of ways, did too, in certain respects, but not really. But Rock is the benchmark. I mean, the fact that he kept on saying, "Oh, I made wrestling cool again," we hadn't seen anything like this since the 80s. First of all, nobody in the 80s was cussing that much on live TV. Nobody was doing or saying certain things, like, calling people like, women like crackhead Karens and meth head Marys and all that. You would have been off the air, or you would have been asked to like leave the company,
right,
based upon that. So whenever I hear The Rock like spew out that kind of thing, I'm like, that's a bit of a stretch, and but again, he is doing what he claimed and said that he was going to do. Like he said, like, Cody Rhodes, I'm going to take your blood and I'm going to wipe this all over this belt. Which the fact that when he made that belt, as I said before, that said Mama Rose on it, I was cracking up. And then as soon as that happened, Dustin Rhodes goes to Twitter, goes, "You son of a bitch." So I'm thinking, Dustin has to show up at Mania. Like, this is not an option anymore. I don't care if he gets fired from AEW. You got to show up to be a part of the storyline, because it's just too freaking good. And you got other different elements involved in terms of the family. Brandy Rhodes getting all pissed on Twitter. Mama Rhodes has not said a damn thing, and she won't probably do anything until Mania anyway. Mm-hmm. But tonight was interesting for a lot of respects. But as you just said, the talent have no access, or basically have, and is pretty much in public view, have a roof ceiling over them, only because The Rock has specific privileges because he's a legacy. Same thing almost like with Ric Flair, except Rick would get in trouble behind the scenes, and
I don't
would
think
not
Rick. I feel like Rick does not have anywhere near the pull that The Rock would have. Like Rick would do something, and he gets crapped on if he does things.
No, not at all. Like, remember the plane ride from hell? He was a made guy. He didn't get suspended, not at all.
Oh
And
yeah,
JR
back in the day. Yeah, I mean, we're talking back in the day. That's different, I guess. I'm talking about now.
Yeah. But in terms of now, in terms of you know,
Yeah.
control, this, that, blah, blah, blah. I mean, even Triple H, I remember at like WrestleMania 27, he hit Undertaker with that steel chair, which obviously was a few years after, you know, the Benoit situation, and there was like no chair shots to the head. But yeah, he did it with Undertaker, and he still got fined.
Right.
I think Undertaker also did too, but nonetheless. Yeah, I mean, again, tonight's Raw. I mean, I agree. I think it was a really high 7. It wasn't an 8, but very high 7. And I want to see more of this. But again, I'm not asking for somebody to bleed every week. I'm not asking somebody to drop an F-bomb every week. I just want, again, a consistency of anticipation of what's going to come the next week.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for next week because dude, I mean, Chicago's one thing. Brooklyn's a whole nother energy, and it's going to be, you know, chants are going to be thrown out like left and right. Creative chants will be thrown out left and right. It's again, I'm actually more anticipating Raw than SmackDown next week, but you know, I'm more curious about who's going to get like the last, like, you know, shot in before Mania, because that's going to kind of dictate to me what's going to happen on Saturday night with the tag match. And I'm pretty sure, you know, Cody and Seth are going to go under, and you know, Rock and Roman are going to go over. But my question
Did you notice the truck in the background?
Yeah, I did notice the truck. They waved goodbye.
No, who was in the truck? Who's on the truck?
No, it's probably Luke Rojas.
You want to see what I'm talking about? You want to see what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
You don't want to see what I'm talking about? Look at
Austin. That truck. Oh, I'm sorry. There was a truck that actually passed me.
Stone Cold and Cena in the background shot.
Stone Cold and Cena. My bad, because I'm not visualizing this right here, so I can't.
You think that was done on purpose?
Of course.
Really?
Of course it was. But so who's going to take the pin? Seth or Cody, and why? And who is going to pin him?
I bet Seth. I bet Cody's going to win the next night. I bet Cody takes the pin.
You could do that. I mean, I was thinking Seth was going to take the pin, but because in WWE's fashion, they want to protect Cody.
Oh, I would think that. I mean, that's the real thing that you would think. You would think Seth eats the pin. It makes sense, but like, I almost wonder if Cody take the pin. You know, similar to how, you know, Bret Hart took the pin against Owen to start WrestleMania 10.
True, but the thing is, I think that tag match, I mean, in my opinion, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be brutal. They're going to beat the crap out of each other. And it would make more sense for me that Cody goes through that hard times where basically he's barely got anything left to like walk down the ramp on night 2. He needs to get his ass whooped. Same thing with Seth. He needs to get his ass whooped. And that's why I think, like, you know, again, the Paul Heyman segment with Drew behind R-Truth's back is very, very crucial for that. So again, and I've been loving what Triple H has been doing with those shots. Like every show, it's like there's something going on behind the scenes, and you're seeing that just to like lead you into saying, okay, something's going to happen later, like a foreshadowing.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Tonight they might have poured it on a little too hard at the end. I mean, they really raped it. They were like, oh, the bloodline's here and something's going to happen. And then somebody said, like, you know, I got a bad feeling about this. And then Michael Cole kept reiterating that. I mean, they said it like 7 times in the last 15 minutes that they felt like something was going to happen. And it was like almost too much. We get it. Like, there's something is going to happen. They just kind of said it too much to me. It just like once would have been enough. Like, it would have been enough to hear. The first time I heard, someone said something like, I don't know, man, I got a weird feeling about this tonight. Something's off, you know.
That was Seth.
Right,
Yeah.
that's all that had to be said. But, like, Michael Cole reiterated that, like, 7 times. He said it twice after that. He then said it again before they went to commercial break. Remember, the bloodline's here. Okay, we get it, Michael. And they came back and he said it again, and then it happened.
As if to think that the fans are going to forget the fact of what we saw previously when Solo and Jimmy showed up just to face down Jay. Like, come on.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it was an insult to the intelligence of us, but it was very minor. I didn't even really care because I wasn't even paying attention to the commentary.
They just didn't want. They really didn't want you to turn off and miss. They wanted you to realize, don't miss the end of this show. Something crazy is going to happen, and it did. So that's what they wanted you to understand. You know.
Saving my coin for 450. What about that Ricochet move on Lucky Charms?
Right.
Yeah, that's funny. Ricochet was wild. Lucky Charms. That's awesome.
Right.
Haystacks Monet, thank you, sir. Thank you to Chief Wahoo, also, who donated 10 subs to people. That was fucking awesome. A couple more donations here. I'm going to let them play because I just want to get them off because I'm only got a few more minutes on the
I still got a question for you, but we'll let them play.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad you remembered because I interrupted you earlier. Haystacks, thanks for the $5 and becoming a $5 shit bum. Don't forget your question, Rastafa. We're going to kind of wrap up with that question and then maybe a couple other little things. And hit that like button, guys, if you can too, man, because I am definitely should have been off the air about 30 minutes ago, but this was just such a good Raw. I had to
You're
hear.
high off this Raw, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm like this. Can you believe it,
I've
man?
been going to
it
wrestling
woke me up.
shows for over 30 years. Never in all that time have I ever felt until last Sunday that my security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
Hey, what up? I just wanna say now that we are less than 2 weeks away from WrestleMania. Wanna say to Luke Rowe, just don't do what you did at the Rumble and drink yourself to death and not be able to review the show, haha. Let's have fun but don't go overboard.
You know what, though? Hype for Mania, F Vince. But here's the thing. Luke Rojas is defending his Monetize This championship this Saturday night, and he didn't even really last night on Monetize This.
Shit bum.
Raw was great. Promos, segments, and we got good matches. I thought Rikishi would hit Cody with a car or The Rock would steal Pharaoh off the bus.
That.
Can you imagine he stole Pharaoh?
Can you imagine if they made it seem like he killed Pharaoh? Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Like the dog was bloody.
Can you imagine, bro? That would be.
Like they insinuated that The Rock punched Pharaoh. Like he goes, "Oh, one more thing too, by the way, Cody. I gotta go say hi to all the rest of the Nightmare family on the bus." And then The Rock walks up. Yeah, I'll go say hi to the pooch. And then Rock walks up the bus ramp, and the camera like zooms down on Cody, and he's like, "Oh!" And then you hear, and then The Rock comes out and goes, "That bitch ain't gonna walk right for a week." Imagine The Rock. Oh my God, dude!
It's so bad, dude. What's wrong with you?
Oh my God, it would have been great. I mean, PETA would have been calling. Oh, the stocks would have dropped or something. Like it would have been great.
Oh yeah. Rock stocks would have freaking dropped first before the WWE.
No,
stocks,
I think they would have gone up though. I think it would have. People would have like, "Oh my God, bro, that dude." They don't got the balls to do that. I'll tell you that.
Freaking the dog would be like rubbing his ass on the carpet for like the next 7 days. Oh my God.
And then Cody's in a video with Pharaoh, and he's got one of the arms is bandaged. Oh.
Yeah, he's like limping. The dog's limping.
It'd be great if Cody was nuts then too, like, "You son of a bitch. Like, I'm gonna kill you." Like, and he was
You touched my dog.
Like, yeah, like who does that to a dog? You son, like you sick bastard. You know, I hear all these internet trolls. Months ago, I used to watch internet trolls say terrible things about you. Oh, these guys in Hollywood, they do terrible things. There's secret societies. They do things, Illuminati, the unimaginable things. And I would defend you, and I'd say that's crazy, that's disgusting, that's terrible. But you really are. You know, Mankind would have cut that promo. But you really are. You really are a sick son of a bitch. And I'm going to kill you. Rock. Like, it would have been, that would have been, I'm sorry. I love it. I don't care what people think. I love it.
That was Vince Russo's writing, so.
Well, I would have helped him write it. Oh, shit.
Rostov is hiding child touches in the basement of his 500K New Jersey 2-story home.
Oh,
what
man.
What?
Yeah, you should break in and steal Rastafa's $500,000 he's got in the bank or whatever it is. Colonel Stutters, thanks for the $5, man. Appreciate it.
So just real quick with the question. So you were talking about essentially like Michael Cole and Pat McAfee backing out of the commentary. They didn't need to say a word. The fight already took care of itself.
I know.
Like when you add just anything,
Yeah.
it ruins the moment like that. That's why, again, silence is very important in that moment.
I agree with the ending part. I won't argue with that, but there were several times tonight where they missed the mark. They were off. It was weird commentary.
So like what the question with that is like, again, like what would you have said, even if it was like 1 word, 2 words, whatever?
I already said it. And maybe Michael Cole did say it and I missed it, and you can let me know if you heard it. But like when Michael Cole missed the spear call, so then he like stopped, then the match ended, and it would have been nice if Michael Cole was talking about how like despite all the odds, he had backup tonight. And then Pat McAfee had been like, well, but who cares who won the match in the end, because the war is still going on right now. It's still happening. And then Michael Cole would be like, oh, this was all a setup. It was all a damn setup, to get Cody Rhodes isolated. The Rock is still here, and that sort of thing. And I didn't hear that, and maybe if they did say it and I missed it, I'm sorry. But I did not hear that. It was more just like, the Rock's still here. And then they just started commentating how he was beating up Cody, and then they sort of stopped commentating. So that's fine.
Yeah.
And that part, we can agree on that part. When it got really dramatic and crazy, yes, any yelling like, "Oh my God," no. It's telling the drama is happening. You don't need that. But like,
is it because you're so used to Jim Ross?
No,
from over the years,
and maybe a little bit, but it's. And I think that there could have been a little commentary, like there could have been a few things said, tiny things. But
God,
like get out there to help Cody, or we need but it'd be fine if they didn't say anything, like you said. It's totally fine if they don't say anything anymore, because now it's so real and crazy. They're telling a story. They don't need a commentator. I like that. That's fine. It's my problem is before that, like not giving this exposition of like, this was all a setup, Pat McAfee be like, Cole, it was all a setup the whole time. Don't you get it? This is the final boss. This is what they planned. They've got Cody isolated, and there's no one out there to help Cody. Meanwhile, Cody and Seth coming to the aid of Jimmy Uso, but who's coming to the aid right now of Cody Rhodes?
You know what I would have had? Honest to God, with Cody, and again, this is no disrespect to his, suit wear and all that jazz, but he should have wore a white suit. And he should have been, I mean, not just with like the color on the face, but just like Rock, like, wiping his blood all over, like, his jacket, this and that, to like really give like a better visual. But the thing is, when was the last time you saw somebody get color on Raw or SmackDown that wasn't hard way?
Well, yeah, it's been a while, and whether that was real blood or he cut himself, or if
that looked definitely like he cut himself. It didn't look fake.
It could have been like some kind of blood thing too, like a fake. I don't know, but either way, it looked good. It looked fine. But like I thought, is that Pharaoh? Oh, he's on the side of the bus. Okay, gee, I thought the dog was outside. Oh my God!
And the fact that it was raining.
Why couldn't
the fact that it was?
Oh yeah, no, dude, unbelievable production. AEW eat shit, because the lights were so well lit, and the camera was so well done. And it was raining, and it was well lit, and it didn't look overproduced. It looked real, but well shot, and that is so different than what I've been seeing recently. That in WWE and in AEW, it would have been so dark you wouldn't have seen some of the stuff. So,
dude, AEW at this point, especially Dynamite, it looks like NXT 2.0.
It does, but darker. Like, I feel like it's still shot dark. They don't know how to light the same way, which is fine. But they did take the WWE female writer, who apparently wrote Mercedes Moné's promo the other night, and she came from WWE, and suddenly AEW has cringe promos like WWE used to have. And now tonight, one of the first weeks since she stopped writing for WWE, it could just be a coincidence, probably. It has nothing to do with it.
I wouldn't be shocked if tonight's Raw got way over a 2.0 or whatever it is, because it hasn't really been at a solid 2.0 for a long time. It's been like 1.9 and 1.8. So like this would be a solid like 2.1, maybe 2.0 rating. Not that it matters now, because they're going to be leaving the network just to go to Netflix, but this is pretty significant in terms of, especially going towards the tail stretch, because I'm hoping next week's Raw is a great go home to go into Mania, just like SmackDown. But SmackDown's not really going to be, for next week, is not going to really matter because they're more focused on the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Yeah, this is dude, this was a very good Raw tonight, and I'm giving it a 7 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10 maybe. It's the best Raw rating I've given, I think, in 2, maybe 3 years. I don't know. So,
like, there was a great Raw last year. It was like around the fall, and it did very, very well. It's probably the best Raw that they did. Was it the greatest? No, but it was definitely significant for all the crap that we saw last year. But again, there might be more of this to come. But again, if you took Rock out of the equation, you took Punk out of the equation, all the cussing, all the blood, all this and that, it just would have been the same old Raw in various respects. But again, could we see something like this with, like, slightly being toned down and yet still being more significant? Yeah. But as far as if they're actually going to do it, who knows?
Yeah, I just believed everybody a lot of times tonight, and there was fun in some of the segments and the freedom they had in some of them. Just, man, well done. I can't believe it. I haven't smiled and been this happy about Raw. It's incredible to feel this way. Mustafa, I got to run, man. Thank you so much for jumping on, bro. I love you. And you stay safe. I'll talk to you during the week, man. I'll see you soon.
See you soon, and please get counseling. Don't go racist on me.
I don't know. That won't save me, I don't think. But I love you.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
I don't know. Thank you, Rastava. Rastava, seriously, like, he is a sport. I love Rastava. And he takes it like he took it tonight, just like his ancestors had to take it. But no, I love the. No, I'm sorry, Jesus. I really do. I look like a southern weirdo person with my half facial hair. So I'll just play the part. Fuck it, I'll just play the part.
Shit bomb.
I already look like one.
It SKS because this guarantee Cody will win. You dorks get your gay champ and wrestling will be boring again. Cody Dork says CK and are gay AF.
Aw. J-Dog from Boston with the $5 and becoming a $5 shit bum. Thank you, J-Dog. Yeah, I mean, listen, it might get to that point. I still want to see. I don't know. I think Cody will probably be champ, could be champ, and then Cody will go on this face run with the belt where he defends the belt all the time in these big matches as the world champion, the WWE world champion. He'll have matches. He'll have Hell in the Cell matches, maybe ladder matches. He'll have a big SummerSlam showdown type of thing match. And he'll just go on this face, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Hogan type of championship run for about 6 months, or at least to SummerSlam maybe. And then just after SummerSlam, probably lose the belt. And then either have to try to fight for it again or, move to something else. I don't know. So that might be what happens. And then maybe it will be Roman Reigns versus The Rock next year. I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is I appreciate the donations, man. From J-Dog, Colonel Stutters, Kermac, Hype for Mania, Haystacks, Monet, Chief Wahoo gifting 10 subs, man. Chief Wahoo, that was huge. Haystacks, thank you. Jay and Joe's World. Johnny Z, subscribe. Kurtman, 360, membership. And then the man himself, I wouldn't even have made any real leeway or headway or whatever you want to call it. I'm tired. Now I'm starting to get tired finally. I've been awake all day. It's been a crazy day too. Very busy day. The Ghost from the Coast. The Ghost from the Coast dropped $50 and helped pump some blood and green into my veins. Guys, I don't think we can underestimate all these people that donated tonight, and the Ghost from the Coast especially. I might not be here doing this right now, tonight, if it wasn't for Ghost the other night and some of the other people who have been donating. So just man, I got to give it up for them, and you got to thank them, because for everybody that doesn't even have $1, guys like Ghost from the Coast and so many show up, and there may be sometimes there's no donations whatsoever, and it's like, oh shit, I might not be able to do this show for a while, And then just this guy drops 150, whatever, bucks, and boom, he saves it. So shout out to Ghost, man, and everybody else who does that. P. Diddy is getting molested in the ocean right now, by the way. And don't forget, one of the biggest shows of the entire year right here on the Joe Cronin Show. Monetize this. 450 next Saturday night. Luke Rojas puts the Monetize This championship on the line against Jay Menace, Dork Knight, Joe Cronin, and the returning Jake DeMarco. Meanwhile, in the background, Always Nerdy has the points in the bank. And Always Nerdy wants to cash in those points in the bank, and we'll see if he'll be able to do that come championship night. And don't forget, there's 2,000 points in the pot. So for all we know, the pot could decide that somebody's the champion. You know, and if it lands on anybody but Jake DeMarco, then that's going to be a fight, because you know how hard people are going to be coming for Jake DeMarco. You know, I mean, and I'm not just saying coming, I'm saying, you know. So Monetize This 450. It's Saturday night. Join us here at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll probably be on very early. Man, the battle for this belt is going to be, hopefully it could be one of the biggest shows of the year. I don't know. Maybe it won't be. Maybe nothing will happen. I don't know. Maybe I'll win. Maybe someone will donate $200 to me and I'll win somehow. In the pots, I don't know. Who knows what could happen? But that being said, I'm out of here. I'm so tired now I can't even think for myself. And, yeah, D. Welsh has taken out so many people. You never know what D. Welsh is going to do. And so many other people that could do so many things. It's kind of insane. I'll catch you guys tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, Tuesday night, right here for Tuesday Night Rage. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. See if we'll keep those shows up, too. Why did Jay give you his mugshot? Oh, my God. Love you guys. Hey, become a patron on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. You guys can hear me and Jake DeMarco's new podcast. That's the old podcast, but it's the new old podcast. It's back, and you guys can check it out on Patreon, of course. That being said, I think I keep saying that. I didn't get to watch it live. So Jake is interested in watching it. And me and Jake will talk about it coming up this week on Out of Nowhere, and, of course, probably on Patreon as well. All right, good night. Hit that like button. We're out. Shout out to Monetize This Y50.